Have you been looking for the perfect homeschool curriculum? Well, today I'm about to share with you guys my all-time favorite one. Welcome back to my channel, guys. I am Anna. If you're new here, I'm so glad to have you guys with me today. I'm going to be sharing with you guys all about my favorite reading program. I'm going to be super real with you guys, super honest with you. I'm going to show you a lesson, give you all the details. We are about 6 weeks into trying this, so I feel like I have done it enough to really get a good grasp of what all is involved and really decide if we love it or not. And spoiler alert, we love it. And that is all about reading, guys. Oh my goodness, I cannot sing its praises enough. It has been the best thing I've ever done in our homeschool. I wish I would have found this a year ago. It would have changed my homeschool life forever. But I have had a little bit of a struggling reader this year and last year. And so as we ended last year, I was really searching for a new curriculum that would help him. He's a little bit dyslexic, and he's my child that always just wants to be outside, wants to be running and playing, needs to be doing something all the time. And so he just didn't want to sit still long enough to do reading, to learn. And this All About Reading program has been wonderful for him because it's a multi-sensory approach. And if you have a kinesthetic learner, you know that that is everything. They need to be touching and feeling and doing. Learning by doing is what he loves. And this All About Reading program is perfect for that. It's also really helped his dyslexic tendencies. And so he is blossoming and doing amazing with it. He actually loves it. I really think it's becoming like his favorite subject, which makes me so excited. And it's giving him so much confidence, which is just, you know, as a homeschool mom, it's just so wonderful to see that. And it's so fun and engaging, and it's very comprehensive. Like, I know I'm setting him up for a firm foundation in reading, and that is like my ultimate goal. Like, if they can learn to read, the possibilities are endless for them. So first, I'm just gonna kind of show you guys what I got from All About Reading when we first started. So I got the All About Reading Teacher's Manual. I got the All About Reading Review Box that also has the flashcard. Well, I think the flashcards come with a student packet, but I wanted the box to kind of keep it all organized. So I got the box, and then I got the student packet. And so the student packet came bound. I ripped all of the pages out and I put them in this. I have a whole video on how I did this, so you can watch how I did this. But I put them in this little binder with sheet protectors. And that way each lesson has its own sheet protector. So I just pull out the activities that we need for that day, and then I put them back in this sheet protector when we're done at the end of the day so that we can keep them all organized and I can use them for future readers again and again and again. Guys, I honestly think I'm gonna use this program for every one of my kids moving forward. Like, I can't, after doing this with him, I don't know if I can see myself ever doing any other reading program than this. It is that good, y'all. Oh my goodness, we love it. You can see, guys, we've been doing this for 6 weeks and we're already like a good way through it. Like, I would say we're almost halfway. So that feels really good. And I just kind of wanted to go over one of the lessons with you guys and kind of give you an idea of how the lessons flow and kind of what's involved in each lesson, how much work it's gonna be for the kid, how much work it's gonna be for you as the teacher. And I will say it is pretty teacher intensive, okay? Because, I mean, you're teaching them how to read. So if they can't learn to read, they can't really be that independent with too many things yet. So that's the whole point of doing this, is so I can get him to be more independent. But until then, he needs me a lot, which is fine. But I just wanted to kind of put that out there, that you do kind of have to sit there with them the whole way through it. But the cool thing is that All About Reading actually recommends that you do it only for 20 minutes. So that's what we do. We set our little timer and we go for 20 minutes and that's it. And I think that has been really helpful for him, because he's the kind of kid, like if he knows there's an ending to something, like he has a better attitude and he just does better altogether. And so that has really helped him mentally, like to know that we're not going to be reading forever. There is an end to this. So I highly recommend doing that when you first start out, is just doing it for 20 minutes and just kind of seeing how it goes. There has been days where he didn't say anything about the timer, so we just kept going. And there's also days where I'm like, do you mind if we just go ahead and do this whole lesson so we can just get it over with, and you can put your sticker on the paper. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. So some days he's into it, some days he's like 20 minutes is all I'm doing. And so I just try to go with that, whatever he's feeling that day. The first section is really cool because it shows you what they're gonna need. Like it shows you exactly what you need to pull. They're gonna need phonogram cards, they're gonna need blast off to reading, they're gonna need word cards. Oh, I meant to bring out, I haven't grabbed it, but I'll show it. There's also books that go, reading books that go along with this as well. So, and then it tells you what you're going to be teaching them that day. This day is the letter I and how it has 3 sounds, the letter V, the letter F, the letter Z. Okay, so the first section is review, and that is where you take out your flashcards from your box and you go over letter sounds that they're practicing and the sight words that they're practicing. So the green cards are the sight words and the yellow cards are the letter sounds. This is another reason I bought this box, because it has a review section, a mastered section, and then ones you haven't gotten to yet, and future lessons. And so that is really nice. You can really keep all of your cards neatly organized. So you'll go over that for a few minutes, working on any of the cards that they haven't mastered yet. Then there's the new teaching section, and that's where you teach them a new letter sound. And I wanted to mention, I also did purchase the Letter Tiles app that goes along with this, instead of purchasing the physical tiles. They have little tiles that have little letters on them, and you can put magnets on them, and the kids can move them around to form different words. But for me, I did not want to do that. Even though he is a kinesthetic learner, and that may have been more helpful, it's still a whole bunch of pieces, guys. And I don't know about you guys, but I got enough Legos around here to last me a lifetime. I don't need any more little pieces around here. So I decided to use the app. It's been working great. He loves it. And it's very similar to the Good and the Beautiful's Letter Tile app that we used last year. So he was already kind of familiar with how it worked. But that's the next part, is using that Letter Tile app to form different words. So you'll tell them to build the word dip. And so he'll bring the D up, then bring the I up, then bring the P up. And then you tell them to first sound out the sounds and then put the sounds together to form the word. And then from there, there's more words that they can form with the Letter Tile app. So you tell them to write the word him, and then you say, okay, change the M out for the T and write hit. And then so on. Then it's hit, then it's sit, then it's pit, then it's bit, then it's fit. So they just keep going. The next part is usually a fun activity from the student packet, and this is his favorite part. There's always something fun to do, and they have games, and they have just like all this hands-on stuff. So like for this lesson, he's got these little cards that are stapled where he can, they're flip cards, so he can change the first letter and make it into a different word. So first it says fig, then it changes to rig, then dig. So he has fun sitting there reading that, and it's hands-on. Like it's not boring. He's not just sitting there reading a list of words. I wanted to show you a few of the other little fun things that he's been able to do. This one is where they have like a little placemat, and there's all these little foods that they can put on the placemats. Like in lesson 4, you have the funny little monster guy, and you have little words that are on the back of these little bones, and you let them take one of these and feed it to the monster. There's a little slit in the middle of the monster, and so then when he does it, I go and he thinks it's so funny, and so we just keep feeding him the words, and as he reads it, he gets to kind of play a little game, and it makes it fun. So that's a fun little example. That's one of my favorites. So then the next part would be working on new words from their word cards, and so you would just pull the ones that go with the lesson 8, and you would start going over them with the child and letting the child read the new word cards, and then you file them under either review, so keep practicing them, or mastered. They've got them down. And then the next part is usually one of these little practice sheets. And these are really cool because I like that they're like, they break it up really well on the page so it doesn't feel overwhelming. And so I really like that because last year that was the problem. It was so many words on one page that it was very overwhelming for him. And I would see it too and I'd be like, oh Lord, here we go. And so this, for both of us, has been so much better. For some reason, the way they spread them out on the sheet just mentally does something for him and helps so much. So he'll go through, he'll start reading each word on the page. They encourage them to read left to right. So he'll read these and then he'll go down and read the phrases. A lot of times this sheet will go along with the book that they're reading. They don't have to read the book every day, which has also been great for him and not as overwhelming. But a lot of the times whatever words they're reading on this sheet coincide with the words that they're going to be reading in their reading book. So they already have a good grasp of all the words before they start reading, and it makes their reading book go so much faster for them. There's usually also some sentences on the other side that they usually have to read, but it's again very doable because you're just adding on a few words each time. Okay, so then the last part is they encourage you to read aloud to your kid for 20 minutes a day. Now we already do this. We're reading to them a lot throughout the day. So I don't usually do this when I do All About Reading with him. We do it at some point throughout our day, whether it's our afternoon kind of morning basket time or the evening time. We usually always get reading to them in at some point in the day. So that's just kind of a reminder from All About Reading to make sure that you're reading aloud to your kids. The other thing that he absolutely loves, the last thing, is they get to put a sticker, and we're actually behind on our stickers because we are on lesson 18 and he has not put his sticker on for 16 and 17, surprisingly. So I have just put this in a sheet protector so that I can reuse that sheet and not have to print a new one out. And so he just puts the stickers right onto the sheet protector. But this is a fun thing for them to do, to keep track of their progress and to see how well they're doing. And they just love getting to use stickers any time of the day. My kids do anyways. So that is a lesson with All About Reading. As you can see, they tell you everything to say. Like I wanted to show you, they have exactly what you are to read to your child. They even give you reminders in here, which is super helpful. They tell you, okay, point to the sentence that ends in a question mark. This is a question mark. It is used to show that the sentence is a question, like, how are you? So that's what you would read to your child. And then it says, today's practice sheet is 2 pages long, and you'll need to be the judge of whether your student needs all of this practice. So it's saying you can skip that part if your student doesn't need that much practice, or you can keep going if you feel like they do. So I love that they have little reminders in here. They have ways that you can customize it to your child and their needs. And that's one of the biggest things I love about it. It's very customizable, and I feel like, I really truly feel like it'll work for any child. Like, it is so good. But I did want to say, every child learns differently. All children are so different. Like, this program would have worked great for my older child, but he also thrived using Bob Jones, which is what he used to learn to read. And so there's really a million different ways to teach this, and it really just depends on the child and their readiness. So every child is ready at a different age, I feel like, especially boys. They're really hard to gauge, but some kids are just not ready to learn at the age you think they should be. So just give yourself grace, give them grace, and realize if they're not reading the same time Susie Q over here is reading, it's okay. And they will learn eventually. You just have to kind of go at their own pace, take your time with it, have fun with it. Don't push it, don't force it, because the more you force it, the more they're going to hate it. And I'm kind of having to do a little bit of reversal of that last year, because I mean, I feel like I kind of pushed it last year. And so this year I'm really trying to like just make it 20 minutes, just kind of do what he wants to do and leave it there. And it has gone so much better this year. I don't think there has been any days of tears, honestly, which is, now that I think of it, that's a miracle in itself. I think I just thought of that. Like, that is such a miracle, because we had many, many days of tears last year, and it was a struggle almost every day. And this year, it's going so smoothly. So anyways, if you do decide to purchase All About Reading, please use my link below. It helps me so much. I would purchase it 100 more times if I could. It's really that good, and it's worth every penny. And I would love to know, have you tried All About Reading and how that went for you, your experience, or if you plan to try it, let me know. I would love to hear about that down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful for you, and please be sure to give it a thumbs up before you head out, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys back here next time. Bye guys.